were basically meant for, um, hold on. Okay. I'm not sure how that worked, but anyways, the four Sinistrals were Terror, Chaos, Terror, Chaos. I'm trying to remember. Terror, Death, Chaos, and Destruction, and they were very physical reincarnations of these four elements. And hello, Mr. Chinese dude.
I don't know about Chinese.
Because he reminds me of the Emperor from Mulan, because of the beard.
He makes me think of Gandalf.
Oh, he does to you? Okay. We'll just go
White beard.
Eco from the ice world. The creatures trapped in the ice will come to life if warned. I have enclosed a jewel that helps protect you. Princess Toadstool. Okay, now you're just reusing items. Come on, princess.
I have nothing else to give you. I was running out of pretty jewels to give you. Give me a break.
I was kind of sad when Nintendo kind of... Darn it. Yeah, let me talk about this guy. This is the Spike Piranha. He kind of juggles a spike ball in the air and will occasionally throw it upwards. So timing is pretty effective. And now we have the Walking Spike Piranha. Loads of fun, especially on slippery ground. And now, to see if I can get past two of them. Oof, barely. And now, for this tricky little jump. Ugh. Yeah, Ice World wants you to die. It's just about every stage, actually. But, let's see. Like I was saying, though, in the Lufia series, you have the four Sinistrals. Three of them are practically evil to the core and want destruction at the hands of their ultimate ruler, Eric the Absolute, which is supposed to be like the god of this game. But, Irem sees things a bit differently, because she claims that humanity has evolved so much to this point in time that they can learn to rule themselves, and they don't need Eric the Absolute to give them orders anymore. And surprisingly enough, Eric agrees with her. He claims that humanity has gone to the point to where they're self-sentient and they don't need a god to tell them what to do anymore. But he doesn't tell the other Sinistrals because he's afraid they won't understand. Which is more than understandable. They seem to be all bwahaha and evil and stuff, so I can't imagine that they would agree with them saying to leave the humans alone. However, they do eventually find out about Irem's betrayal of them and use mind control magic to try and make her evil like them. And it works to begin with, but she eventually breaks free and reincarnates herself as a human so that she can better understand them. I really like Irem's character. It's a very different take on someone who's supposed to be a villain. And her character is kind of tragic, since she never really survives after a reincarnation. But definitely one of the better video game female characters we get. Let's see. I've already explained how I'm really kind of insulted at the way Samus's portrayal has been in the last few years.
Mother ram, cough, cough.
Yeah. To be fair, the Zero Suit kind of started it. But to be fair, that wasn't so bad. And
no, I disagree. Zero Suit was cool.
The Zero Suit was cool and all.
Because it makes sense. I know people are crying sexism. I'm like, well, what is she going to wear under that?
Actually, I've heard from people who wear this type of suit she wears, and they are not very comfortable at all. And they're very impractical when it comes to stuff like fighting and whatnot, because of the tight movements you'll have to use while fighting. Usually those kind of skin-tight suits are usually used for either gymnastics or used for exercising programs, but never fighting. So yeah, not really the most practical thing she could wear. But if that's what she wants to wear, then I'm not going to object. But here's the problem I have, though. The original idea for the Zero suit, not so bad. I mean, it was a modest suit, to be sure. I mean, it wasn't exposing anything. However, I think while Nintendo had the best of intentions, it had an adverse effect on people. What kind of adverse effect? It brought in the TNA fanbase because they saw how sexy she looked wearing it. And unfortunately, those are the people who are overpopulating the Nintendo fanbase right now, at least in terms of Metroid. Because they want to see more stuff with Samus, more stuff with the Zero suit. They said, as a matter of fact, let me quote someone who is a major critic reviewer on Screw Attack. Off with the power suit and on with the Zero suit. We do not need the power suit anymore, especially since the power suit is very impractical, as well as must be pretty bulky. So the Zero suit makes a lot more sense. And, I believe he also made the comment about Samus's new HD design and new Smash Brothers, and one of the people interviewing him said, does he think that Nintendo's trying to be too much TNA with her new design, making her look too much like a fan service character? And he said, well, to be perfectly honest, even if she was, would people be complaining? Because, you know, if you look at the famous video game franchises we have now, that's the new approach we're taking with female characters. A lot of the
new? Yeah. Okay, no. Not new.
And he said a lot of the famous video game badasses do have this kind of fan service design. So he said, is it something that we should really be complaining about? He said, by making her more sexy looking, they just make her prettier to look at. And what's wrong with that?
You can be pretty without being sexy. And that's bullshit, that guy said.
Do you know what
that the suit is useless. She has no protection in her Zero suit. It's literally the suit she wears when she's wearing the Vera suit, the regular suit.
And also another thing I don't like is it kind of almost looks like Nintendo's trying their hardest to do that, because in the new Smash game, there's less emphasis on the power suit and more emphasis on the Zero suit. Because now she has a more powerful electric whip, which has been improved for combo attacks, as well as a jet boot enhancement, which...
Yeah, people cried sexist about that.
You don't know how to respond, do you?
Well, it's more like... I can kind of see where they come from. I think people are exaggerating. I don't see it as completely sexist.
To me, I don't...
I would agree to the point that they wouldn't add that on a male character. I know they wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't really have a problem with it being heels per se, but the problem is that... I agree with people's opinions on it, though, that they claim the only reason they're doing that is to sell her off to the TNA crowd. Otherwise, they would not have made it jet heels. And...
Possibly.
Nintendo, please don't do this. Like, I know you don't have the best respect for Samus, but I really like to hope that you have lost so much respect for her that you would, pretty much turn her into another sex symbol, like Ivy from Soul Calibur. I do not want her to be the next Ivy. That would be terrible.
Oh god, I hate her design. Her backstory is actually interesting, but her outfits are horrible. She either has the bondage outfit or she has the stupid president outfit. In one of her endings, she actually has a more practical, like, pretty dress on. Like, why couldn't you wear something sensible like that?
And unfortunately, when I talk to my friends at Dragon's Den, they have the same opinion I do, that, yeah, it's just a matter of time. By the time the year 2020 comes around, we're gonna have to be lucky if Samus isn't sporting a thong.
I don't think it was that far. This is Nintendo we're talking about.
We'll see.
The most project design they've had is Shia in Hyrule Warriors.
Yes, and that's a Nintendo game, is it not?